Hello YouTube, Kaitlyn here, and do you think long-distance relationships work? But you're so far away! So I have been in a long-distance relationship for the past 3 years. Remember this guy? Yeah, this guy. But I started thinking about it and realized that every serious relationship I've ever had has been a long-distance relationship at one point or another, which I feel like makes me relatively capable of talking about the good and the bad of long-distance relationships. So let's start with the bad, because why not? Bad thing number one, your relationship exists mostly through social media or technology. You're missing the in-person element, and that is actually a very important element. It's not just about like touching or being able to hold hands and kiss and all that fun stuff, but actually just being able to see each other face to face. There's something special about being present with your loved one in the moment, because you can so easily get distracted when you're just on the phone with them or texting them or on Skype with them. Another big problem is that written messages can be easily misinterpreted. In fact, especially with girls, even phone conversations can be misinterpreted. Have you ever heard, "It's fine," or "Don't worry about it," because you should be worrying about it. Unless you can see their face, you can mess up big time. Number three, it is expensive, figuring out how you are going to see one another. Parker and I live 2 hours apart, which isn't all that bad in the grand scheme of things, but one of us is always having to travel somewhere, or we're meeting in the middle, and it's taking up gas money, and it's just, ugh. In a similar fashion, a lot of time is spent organizing our schedules and figuring out how we can see one another or communicate with one another. For me, this causes a lot of stress because I am the organized one and I want to know exactly when I can see him and talk to him and all of these things. It just makes me feel more secured. And then when things don't work out perfectly the way that I've planned them in my head, I can get really upset because I've had unrealistic expectations for it. And number five, it's a lot easier to cheat or fall out of love with the person that you are in the long distance relationship with. This is always a struggle because you can say that you are faithful and you can be faithful, but your partner won't necessarily believe that. And that a lot of times is just a self-esteem problem on their part, and it causes stressors in your relationship. And then there's also the problem that, say, you do fall in love with someone who is closer by when you can see them every day versus someone you can only see once every month. It's unfortunate, but it does happen. Okay, now that we've depressed ourselves with the bad, let's think about some of the good. Number one, you spend a lot of time talking rather than making out, so you get to know each other a lot better. Yay for having a relationship that's based on mutual interests and liking one another rather than just like, oh, it feels really nice to kiss this person. When you do get to see each other, it can be so much non-stop fun because you do spend so little time together. When you do actually get together in one place, then you like don't even want to sleep. You just want to spend all the time talking and hanging out and doing fun things. Number three, long distance doesn't have to be forever. If you're an adult, and really this only does apply to adults and not necessarily teenagers, because when you're an adult, you can change where you live, but when you're a teenager, you kind of just have to live where your parents live or something like that. But if you're an adult, you can eventually move closer to one another, and whatever is keeping you apart, like school or job, you can change those things. Number four, you prove a commitment to one another that a regular relationship just doesn't have, because you're choosing to be with them because you care about them, not just because they're a convenient choice, but you really have to work to be with them. So is it worth it to be in a long distance relationship? Yes and no. Obviously, considering that I've been in one for 3 years, then I'm going to say that it is worth it, because otherwise I would be contradicting everything that I've been working for the last 3 years. I think that they can prove to be successful, but gosh, are they hard. Sometimes I just get super fed up with being so far away and feeling so powerless to change our situation. And it just makes me want to scream, and that is a very real fact of a long distance relationship. And we don't even live that far apart. Some people live on opposite coasts or in different countries, and I don't know how they do that. We've basically figured out a way to see each other every weekend by either traveling to one or the other place where we live or meeting in the middle somewhere and going on dates there. But it has taken a long time to figure it out, and it has certainly had some rough patches in there and lots of stress, but we've realized that we want to be together, and so we're making it work. We're working hard to do it. Okay, enough mushy-gushy about your own relationship. What about them? Okay, so for those of you who are trying to figure out if a long-distance relationship is worth it, here are some things that I think hold true. One, long distance is probably not worthwhile if you're in college. Like if you and your high school sweetheart graduate and one goes to college in New York and the other goes to college in California, and you're like, we're gonna make this work, I can almost guarantee you that you're going to meet new people, and it's going to just cause a lot of stress that you don't need when you're already going through changes in your life. This is not the rule or what is always going to happen. I've just seen this particular outcome more times than the other outcome of them being able to stay together. In fact, I think I only know 2 couples that were high school sweethearts and then went to different colleges and then ended up staying together and getting married later in life. And that's beautiful and I love it, but it's maybe not going to happen for you. Number 2, long distance with someone that you've met over the internet is kind of sketchy. You do need to have the ability to, at some point, get to know the person that you are wanting to date face to face. So the relationship that you think that you have over the internet is not actually the same kind of relationship that you would have in flesh and blood. If you have never met face to face, I would shy away from starting a relationship. Being friends is great. You can have lots of friends over the internet, but unless you've actually met them, don't commit to something like an actual relationship. And number 3, long distance is a totally viable option when you're an adult. This is the first time that I've really felt in control of a long distance relationship because I have the ability to drive where I need to go or spend money when I need to spend money, and long distance relationships take driving time and they take money and they're not always easy, but as an adult, I feel better equipped to deal with it. It isn't always pleasant, but it's definitely possible when you're an adult. And when you're a teenager and the love of your life lives in California, when you live in like Ohio, I'm really sorry. That just sucks. I don't even know how to help you. If you're still looking for some more information on long distance relationships, my friend Josh over on the Josh Speaks talks about long distance relationships, and I'm gonna link you over here to his video. Otherwise, I hope that I've been able to give you some valuable information to make an informed decision about a long distance relationship. And if you're already in one, huzzah! We ride that stormy sea together, friend. So what do you think? Tell me down in the comments if you think long distance relationships can work. Plus remember to like, favorite, share, and subscribe if this video made you smile. See you guys next Thursday. Guys ever want to know what I look like without makeup on? Here you go. I'm ready for a hike. Ah! My shirt says, I don't sweat, I sparkle like a vampire. I'm barely pale enough to be a vampire. It's really sad. I spend time outside, but apparently not enough.